You are welcome to this YouTube channel again. With this tutorial, we are going to talk about how to deal with classes, and we are going to talk about constructors. Then we move to getters and setters. So for now, let me create a new project, then I will name it YouTube classes. Whenever you create a method, in the method, even if you've not defined a constructor, you have to understand that there's a default constructor for each method. But for us to define a constructor is similar to methods, just that this method has the same name as the class, and it doesn't have a return type. Constructors are referred to as special hot methods to initialize an object. So now we have to understand that we have no argument constructor. So let's try and create a no argument constructor. As I said, constructors are supposed to have the same name as the class. So I'm going to only call the public, then YouTube we are not going to pass any argument to it. So in this case, this is no argument constructor. Let me just print a statement. This is no argument from that. So we have YouTube. We are just going to create an object of it. So copy. So one thing is, whenever you create an object of a class, the first method to run whenever you create an object of the class is the constructor. So after creating this object, we are not going to use the object to call any method. We expect that the constructor will be the first to run. So let's execute it and see. So it is running. So we've been able to achieve a no argument constructor. So let's now move to argument constructors. So with this, let's see, string name, and age. So I'm going to create two variables here. So we have public string name, then we have public int age, these are parameters and they are local variables. These are the global variables, that is the fields. So whenever we call this constructor, we want it to take two variables from the user and assign it to these public variables or global variables that we've created. So it's going to be name equal to name, age is going to age, these names are not supposed to be the same. You can change this one and make it n, and change this one too. So you can make it n, then we make it age. It's going to work. When you pass an argument to a constructor, it means that wherever you are creating an object from this same class, you have to pass a value to it. So in this case, you are going to pass two values to it. So Isaac $52. So here let's create another method called display. So public void display. This method is only going to display it's only going to display the name. So this is the name. So this method is only displaying age and what name. So y dot display let's try and execute it and see. So now it means that we are able to pass values through the constructor to these variables age and name. Let's learn about before overloading. So with this overloading, it means that you are going to have the constructors. So you are going to have two constructors. So I just copy and paste. We are going to have different number of parameters. So we are going to have so what we've done is we have three constructors. This is no argument constructor. So the variables that we have, we are going to pass a static value to it. So we have a static value armor, and we have what? Age 52. These are static values. You can't change it. Here, this constructor is having only one parameter, which is the name. So it means that we can only pass one parameter, which is the name. Here we are giving it a static value. The age, we are going to pass a static value to it, 41. In this constructor, we have two parameters, and we are assigning them to the age and the name. So when we go to our code, we can call we are going to create another object, but for this we are going to create an object of the constructor with only one parameter. So display. For now, let me comment this. Let me execute this and let's see. So we have the name Vivian as we pass it, and it gave us what the static value that we gave to age. Let's try and create another object. So equal to new so with no constructor, and then let's use the y2 dot display. With this too, let's see what will happen. So it gave it printed the static values that we gave it. So this means constructor overloading. You've declared three constructors, each of them having what different parameters. And we've also demonstrate how we can use this type of what constructor declaring. So the next thing that we will be doing is we are going to learn about getters and setters. So with getters and setters, we have to change this let's maintain the public and the private. So let's learn about getters. So for now, let me delete this. Then I will also delete this one. So I'm going to first create a getter for these values age and year. What getters does is getters help you to access these values. So public then the return type of a getter is supposed to be the data type of that variable. So with this is going to be a string. Then the name should be getters are not supposed to have parameters. They're only supposed to have what return values. So we have name. So I'm going to create public int, then what age, then return age. So once we've declared the getters, it means that we can get any value that you will pass to name and age through what the getters. So what I'll do is, instead of using the variable name here, we are going to use get name, then get age. So we expect that we are going to get the same results. Okay, so I didn't give this one, I didn't make it page, so let me make it on. So let me change it here. Get age. So you are supposed to get the same output. So it means that this Isaac will be called here and this 52 will be called here. So let me just give a space. Execute it. So we are getting the same output. With the setters, we use setters to assign values to variables. And in this case, we are using constructor to accept values outside the class and pass it to those variables. So what we are doing is, for this, if you want to do constructors, you have to, if you want to do setters, you have to delete this and delete the constructor, because they are going to perform the same function, so we don't need them. So here, what you will do is you are going to create setters. Before you can create a setter, you have to understand that setters are supposed not to return any variable, so it's going to be void, and you have to assign a name to it. Set, then name. You also have to pass a parameter to it, so it's going to be, the parameter is going to have the same data type as the return value, so name. So what we do is name equal to name. So I don't want to confuse you, so let me change this one to n and change this one to what? N. So it means that the value that you receive here, you are going to pass it to this, and it will be assigned to what? The name. So let's do the same thing. Public int void set age. So it's going to be int a. So age equal to 8. So in our main method, what we'll be doing is we have to call the setters first. So object name, that is y dot the set, then we will pass it a value, so 75. Then y dot set name is going to be Tina. So let's run it and see. So what we've done is we've passed this value to the set method. So when it goes to the set method, this n now contains the value of tenor, and in this method we are supposed to hand over the name n to this global variable. So it means that this global variable name is going to contain the data called tenor. So that tenor will be stored here. It's now the data being stored here. The same thing when we go to age, we are passing the 75. So when it gets to this set age, the a will now contain the 75, and in this code what we are doing is, this is a global variable, so we are assigning this 75 to the age. So it means that when we come to the getters, it means we are only returning the variable. So wherever we call this name get name, we are not supposed to do anything. We are just to return the value. So whatever value that have been stored inside this name is going to be here, and wherever we call this is supposed to display. So wherever we want to use this variable name, we can call this, set that it will return that value. We will end this tutorial, then we will continue some other time.